off in the yard like dog. Them a bark and a pass them remark. Their mind and heart full of demon talk. So from them I depart. Hey, all the truth me a talk. Some man a talk. Bout them a dog a heart. Their mind is cold like an iceberg. And their teeth is a razor sharper. Hey, judging not for the wrongs I've done, neither for the things I talk. My car is a modern day chariot. My guitar is a broken harp. Hey, see them a laugh when me back turn. Them a talk about me a skylark. Until they know what's right from wrong. We're 1,000 miles apart. Hey, I'm living in a concrete jungle. Every way so dark. So I'm in tune with nature. Every day I walk the park. Hey, I see the birds on the beach, feel the breeze to the trees. Now hear these talk. My hair is off the branches and my skin is off the bark. Hey, are you in tune with nature? When night turns dark, sometimes I light a candle and feel the vibration from my heart. Hey, I feel this fire burning from my heart as a voice cries out in the wilderness and an angel plays a harp. Many man and woman and I love my song about God kingdom. They always seeking wickedness because them a demon. They will always plan to do something wrong. Them a Satan's son, like a lamb to a slaughter. Send them come. Girl, you have some man that will put you in a temptation. They will promise you things where your man can't give you. Tell them to move on. Man, you have some girl will live a life of confusion, sleeping with so many different men and bring confrontation.
Hi everybody, welcome to Ocean Yermi's channel. So today, my condolences to Phoenix, and this was really kind of requested because I was gonna do the Dark Side of Ocean Yermi probably tomorrow, something like that. But what I'm gonna do, I think I do actually have a few things. I mean, I might not be able to cover it all today because I have to be gone before 12. I can't be on here too late like I normally am. If anything, I'll just probably come back on and do a couple more as well. But there is a few little things. Jocelyn, I'm not gonna do all of Jocelyn Smith, I think her name is. Jocelyn Smith. If you do not know who Jocelyn Smith is, Jocelyn Smith was a... Hold on, let me play it so you can get the gist of who she is. At least you can get the gist of who she is, yeah? Let me see if I can... Because her mum had a trial today. And the thing was a Sangoma you used the little girl's eyes and skin. That was the last thing I heard. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to update you on this. So at least you see who she is. Or hear who she is.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act.
Oh, it's not going to let me do it. Oh, okay. It's not going to let me do it. Hold on. Let's see. Let me see if it's going to let me do it. Because I don't want to use the... I don't want to use the other one.
Missing South African girl was wanted for her eyes and skin. Image source: Executive Mayor Andre Truter /Facebook. Jocelyn Smith, who went missing in February 2024 when she was aged 6, has yet to be found. A young South African girl who disappeared last year aged 6 was allegedly sought by a traditional healer for her eyes and fair complexion, a court has heard. This is among the allegations that have emerged at the ongoing trial of Jocelyn Smith's mother, Kelly Smith, who has been accused of orchestrating her kidnapping. Ms. Smith, her boyfriend Jack Napolis and their friend Stephen Ovan Hyn have pleaded not guilty to charges of human trafficking and kidnapping. Jocelyn's disappearance in February 2024 from outside her home in Saldanha Bay, near Cape Town, sent shockwaves across South Africa and, despite a highly publicized search for her, she is yet to be found. Ms. Smith initially said that Jocelyn, who has a fair complexion and blue-green eyes, had gone missing after she had left her in Mr. Appelis's care. Prosecutors later accused her of having sold, delivered or exchanged the 6-year-old and lied about her disappearance. The trial, which is now in its 3rd week, is being held at a community center in Saldanha. During the first week of the trial, the court heard details about the day Jocelyn went missing, including that Ms. Smith only alerted the police more than 6 hours after she had first noticed that the young girl had disappeared. The court also heard that she appeared calm during the frantic search and seemed more concerned about her boyfriend's whereabouts than the missing child. More shocking claims emerged in the 2nd week. A local pastor said that as far back as 2023, he had heard Ms. Smith, a mother of 3, talk of selling her children for 20,000 rand, $1,100, £850 each, though she had said she was willing to accept a lower figure of $275. Jocelyn's teacher then alleged in court that Ms. Smith had told her during the search that her daughter was already on a ship, inside a container, and they were on the way to West Africa. These revelations paled in comparison to the explosive details made by Laurentia Lombard, a friend and neighbor of Ms. Smith, who turned state witness. She took the stand last Thursday and, over 3 days, detailed the events in the lead-up to Jocelyn's disappearance that involved a traditional healer, known in South Africa as a Sangoma. Ms. Lombard alleged that her friend confessed to her, "I did something silly. I sold my child to a Sangoma," adding that she had been driven by a desperate need for money. Jocelyn's mother promised those who knew of the plan some money in return for their silence, Ms. Lombard said. She told the court that she later witnessed Ms. Smith pack some clothes for Jocelyn into a black bag, which she then saw her carry as the two walked to meet a woman Ms. Lombard believes was the Sangoma. Mother and daughter got into a white car and drove away with the woman, Ms. Lombard said. Speaking on Monday, her last day on the stand, Ms. Lombard told the court that the person who, allegedly took, Jocelyn wanted her for her eyes and skin.
That's so wicked.
It was not made clear in court why a Sangoma would want a child like this. A woman believed to be a traditional healer was initially arrested and charged alongside Ms. Smith and her co-accused last year, but the charges against her were eventually dropped because of a lack of evidence. Sangomas are legally recognized in South Africa under the Traditional Health Practitioners Act of 2007, alongside herbalists, traditional birth attendants and traditional surgeons. It is believed that ancestral spirits are able to provide advice and healing through these culturally respected practitioners. Some charlatans are involved in unscrupulous traditional so-called cures, and have been known to sell good luck charms that involve body parts. Ms. Lombard expressed sorrow over her role in Jocelyn's disappearance, saying that she had tried, without success, to stop Ms. Smith from selling her daughter. She appealed to whoever had taken the young girl to please bring her back alive. The trial is expected to run until the 28th of March. You may also be interested in. Go to bbcafrica.com.
What is it?
External. For more news from the African continent. Follow us on Twitter at.
Right, so I'm going to show a picture of her mother because I remember doing this. Hi, friend. What a dilemma for a child. I connect. Yes, there is some traditional healers in South Africa which deals in body parts and stuff like that, which they use for their stuff. This is not unusual by no means because Jocelyn, yes, she is a very pretty girl. I've seen little girls like her who looks exactly like her, same kind of eyes and all that, and you're just thinking to yourself, like, the mum did not even blink twice or think twice to even think what possibly would have happened to her. It's like she kind of just offered her child up. And then there's a video that I've got on my channel as well of the mum where she's pleading for her to come back. And the thing is that the mum made out like she didn't know what happened to her or nothing. I think I got it on my channel. I think I have. Let me see if I have it, because yeah, I got it here. The mom is very wicked, personally. Like, because a lot of things goes on in South Africa. So she could at least had, like, this is her.
I know it's got nothing to do with it. If they must come and sleep with me every night, they would feel my pillow. It's wet. That's how much I cry. I can't go around crying all day and going with a mock face. I've got 2 more children that are alive and here with me right now. And I don't say Jocelyn ain't alive. Jocelyn is alive in my heart.
It's like she knew she had been on alive.
I can feel her in my heart that she's alive. The community is the ones that
yeah,
are
it
searching
is.
for
It's
Jocelyn.
very,
I can't
yeah,
get part of the search
very
because
cool child.
some
Yeah,
of the community members that are unreasonable want to come and hurt me. So I can't be part of the search. And I must have strength. I must be at home and have strength for when they find Jocelyn. Because I don't know in what condition they can find her. Because I don't know if Jocelyn is sleeping. I don't know if she's eating. Even if she gets water, I don't know if she's warm. I know nothing. She believed that I know something about my child's disappearance. And I know nothing.
she knows. She knew.
None of us
She
know
knew.
anything about it.
Okay. So this is her mum now. This is how she looks now. I almost didn't recognize her. I saw her come on one news thing. I did not recognize it was Jocelyn's mother. I thought, who is that woman? She put on weight while she was in jail. And I was like, who is she? Like, I was trying to really figure out who she was. And then the news bulletin came up. I said, oh, it's the mum. I'm just like, let me see if this one's gonna play. Because she went to court as well. She's a very wicked woman. So this was February 2024 when she went back.
BBC Africa.
Oh.
External. On Facebook at BBC Africa. External.
Oh.
Or on Instagram at Africa.
Oh, that's
External.
Why is it doing that? Okay.
Court hears that Kelly Smith orchestrated Jocelyn's sale to Sangoma, others probably involved by
Yeah,
chance.
you have a good day, Auntie. Even
Kelly
me, I
Smith,
got busy.
the
I
mother
got
of Jocelyn
going
Smith.
on. It's a kind
Kelly
of a short
Smith was
live
the
anyway.
instigator and executor of the plan to sell her daughter to a Sangoma on February 19, 2024. The Western Cape High Court heard on Monday, with the remaining accused in the headline-gripping trial being
there's another
bystanders, although one
child
of them was said to profit
that's
from his
missing
silence.
as well in America.
This was according to Laurentia
well.
Lombard, who, before she became a state witness last year and was also said to profit
Trying
from
to
her
find
silence,
the child's
was
name.
accused number 4 in the kidnapping and human trafficking charges brought against Smith, her partner Jacques Boetaopoulos, and the couple's friend, Stefano Van Rhyn. The trio have pleaded not guilty to all charges. Judge Nathan Erasmus on Monday gave a summary of Lombard's often confusing testimony, not helped by very different versions of events given by Lombard in her initial talks with police, her confession statement, and the statement she gave when she became a state witness. Her testimony is also difficult to follow because of the pedantic and long-winded, as Erasmus has described them, cross-examination questions from advocate Fanny Harms, acting on behalf of Apoilis. Lombard has only a grade 7 education, and Harms has not appeared to take this into account during his questioning, leading Erasmus to chide him about the way he quizzes the unsophisticated witness. Summarizing Lombard's testimony on Monday, Erasmus said to her, Kelly Smith came up with the plan, and she first told Mr. Apoilis Boeta while they were standing outside their shack on Sunday, February 18, 2024, and you overheard this plan. That's correct, replied Lombard, cutting a more confident figure than she did last week, when Erasmus pointing out the inconsistencies in her statements led to her bursting into tears. Continued Erasmus, and the way you understand it, from what you heard, Apoilis wasn't really interested in the beginning, because he said something in the vein of, "Ek het ni lose for you nonsense not. I am not in the mood for your nonsense. Now, I am going to stay with Mr. Apoilis for a moment," said the judge. He did nothing more but to help with the cover-up. Furthermore, you can't say anything about him being involved in the disappearance. That's correct. Turning to Mr. Van Rhyn, Stefano, on the surface it looks like he was only there by chance, like you. He didn't say much, he didn't do anything, said Erasmus. That's correct. The only thing you can say is that he was prepared to accept his R1200 for keeping quiet at some stage. That's correct. Of course, you didn't get your money, and you don't know if he got anything. That's correct. And I take it you don't know what he told the police, after the day Jocelyn went missing, so you can't say anything about him perhaps being part of the cover-up. That's correct. Continued Erasmus, turning to Miss Smith. She came up with the plan, and when Apoilis said he didn't want to be part of the nonsense, she said she would follow her own head. That's correct. She was the one on the Sunday, according to you, who took Jocelyn in the car. She gave all the instructions about keeping Jocelyn at home and that she would come back about 2 p.m. on the Monday. She was the one who packed the bag and also took Jocelyn to the car on the Monday. Who was the person who said you guys must keep quiet about the plan to the police? Kelly, responded Lombard. According to testimony from various witnesses thus far, the trial is in its fourth and what should be its final week. Smith first told an evangelist and part-time handyman in 2023 that she wanted to sell all 3 of her children because of financial difficulties. On Sunday, February 18, 2024, Smith is alleged to have taken Jocelyn to a white polo car that stopped in the vicinity of Mid-Elpos in Saldanha Bay, where Smith, Apoilis, and the children lived in a shack, presumably to introduce the Sangoma in the car, a black woman, to the child and to receive the R20,000 she was promised for the sale. Lombard has testified that the Sangoma wanted Jocelyn because of her pale skin and blue-green eyes. On the same Sunday, in the evening, Smith and Apoilis allegedly got into an argument. All 3 of the accused and Lombard were smoking tick on the day and were heavy drug users, with Kelly trying to stab Apoilis in a fit of rage and throwing a tantrum in the shack, during which she hurled pots and pans around. The next day, the Monday that Jocelyn went missing, Smith allegedly kept the young girl and one of her brothers off school because their clothes were dirty and Jocelyn was feeling sick. Smith packed clothes for Jocelyn in a black cooler bag, and as she was walking with her in the direction of a nearby car wash, owned by Lombard's partner Ayanda, Lombard asked her where she was going, and she replied that it was none of Lombard's business. It is Lombard's testimony that at this time, upon reflection, she thought Smith was having second thoughts about selling the child. But Smith eventually allegedly walked to the area of the car wash, where the same VW Polo she had taken Jocelyn to on Sunday was parked. Mother and child got into the car. Eventually, Smith got out and the car left with Jocelyn in it. According to Lombard, this is the last time she saw the child. Lombard said it was her assumption that Smith had returned to work afterwards. She was doing domestic chores at the time. Times are in dispute, but this allegedly took place after 2 p.m. Lombard says she returned to the home of Smith and Apoilis, where Van Rhyn was visiting. It is here that she asked Apoilis about the money and if Smith still had it. Apoilis denied that this ever took place, saying that he and Van Rhyn were walking around looking for someone to sell appliances to. Van Rhyn earns his money by fixing appliances. Smith reported Jocelyn missing to police just after 9 p.m. that night. Prior to this, according to Smith's plea explanation, she had been worried and was searching for the girl. According to Lombard's testimony, Smith promised her R1000 and Van Rhyn R1200 for their silence, given they had overheard Smith's plans to sell the child. The matter is set to continue until March 28. Tags: child kidnapping trial, child trafficking South Africa, human trafficking case, Jacques Boeta Apoilis, Jocelyn Smith latest, Jocelyn Smith latest news.
Yeah, because it is a form of human trafficking as well. What she did, not only that she's selling, it's a human trafficking, organ harvesting, and something else involved, right? So this was one of the ones that I did come across, and I don't know what is going on. I know people are going through stuff, but it's like it's when they use their children as collateral, and that's when it gets sad, you know. That's when it gets sad. But I will have to look into a bit more of the Sangomas who do these type of things, because it's a whole nother world altogether. You know, the fact that they was drawn to her eyes and her light skin is a problem to me, you know. Yes. So what I'm also gonna do, there is another young girl. I mean, there's loads of missing children, but this one I think is similar. They were saying similar to Noriah Harris. This one here, they're saying this is similar to Noriah Harris. Let me see. Seems like it's the same situation that Noriah Harris went through. Kamani, her name is Kamani. I can't say her second name. Hold on, I'll find
Jocelyn
it.
Smith Sangoma, Jocelyn disappearance. Jocelyn Smith disappearance.
Why you keep playing that one thing?
Cause of death revealed for Kamani Laddick after father's arrest. Sexually assaulted, hands cut off and nearly decapitated. The 13-year-old was found brutally murdered in an abandoned building in Toledo this week. Toledo Police Department Facebook, Lucas County Jail. Kamani Laddick, Darnell Jones. Authorities in Ohio have announced the cause of death for Kaimani Latig, the 13-year-old found dead in a burned building days after she was last seen with her father. She was reported missing on March 18 in Toledo, Ohio. Police issued an arrest warrant for her father Darnell Jones on Sunday, March 23, in connection with her abduction, according to a statement from the Toledo Police Department. Kaimani was found in a burned-out, abandoned building in Toledo on Monday, after which authorities rendered an arrest warrant for Jones on a murder charge. He was arrested on Tuesday by Columbus police after allegedly exchanging gunfire with officers, sustaining critical wounds. The Lucas County Coroner's Office has now announced the cause of Kaimani's death. Police documents refer to her as Kamani. The autopsy revealed she died from multiple incised wounds of the neck, the coroner's office said in a statement. Brian Steele, a lieutenant with the Columbus Police Department, tells people that the child was found in a horrific condition. She had allegedly been nearly decapitated, sexually assaulted, and her hands were cut off. Facebook. Kaimani Latig. In arrest warrants reviewed by People, Toledo police allege Jones provided inconsistent statements to police about his activity with his daughter as well as his whereabouts. When Columbus police approached him on Tuesday, Jones allegedly shot at an officer with a gun from inside his sweatshirt, Steele says. Officers opened fire on him, critically injuring him. Steele says he is now in stable condition. The officer was not injured. Related, Dad went on TV saying his missing daughter didn't feel safe at home alone. He's now wanted for her murder. WBNS 10 TV/YouTube. Community vigil for Kaimani Latig. The gruesome nature of the crime has left Kaimani's community in shock. At a vigil on Tuesday, nearly 100 people came together at the site of where her body was found, now adorned with candles, flowers and balloons, per the Toledo Blade. It's a deep wound for the whole community, attendee Sonia Rivera told the outlet. It doesn't matter if you're from Waterville or Perrysburg, our community and our kids matter. Kaimani's classmate, 13-year-old Kaylana Bullis also attended the vigil. She was really nice, no matter what, Kaylana said, per the Blade. Even if people kept messing with her, picking with her, she'll always be nice. Want to keep up with the latest crime coverage?
What?
Sign up for People's free true crime newsletter for breaking crime news, ongoing.
Oh yeah.
If you suspect child abuse, call the Child Help National Child Abuse Hotline at 1-800-4H. If you suspect child abuse, call the Child Help National Child. If you suspect child abuse, call the Child Help National Child Abuse Hotline at 1-800-4A-CHILD or 1-800-422-4453, or go to www.childhelp.org. All calls are toll-free.
Wow. That's crazy. I wonder if they're going to get really detailed, because YouTube goes weird when you guys get detailed. My days. I don't know what is wrong with these people. Oh, the grandma's speaking. Okay. See, I can.
I'm Sophia Perricone. We continue to track details about the disappearance and death of 13-year-old Kaimani Latig. First, we go to the latest on the investigation. We're working to gather more information about a shooting in Columbus this morning that may be connected to Kaimani's murder investigation. The president of the Columbus Fraternal Order of Police says a man who was shot by SWAT this morning is wanted for a murder of a teenage girl here in Toledo. However, neither he nor a spokesperson for Columbus Police would confirm if that man is Darnell Jones. Here's what the FOP president had to say.
When I heard about this case, this was an individual wanted for homicide out of Toledo. I called my union counterpart in Toledo. I said, hey, good news, we have your guy. Your guy committed a murder, chose to fled to our town. I'll tell you right now, the wrong town to come to if you murder somebody. Our SWAT team will go out looking for you.
We are working right now to confirm if the man shot this morning is Darnell Jones. He's wanted for the murder of 13-year-old Kimani Lateague. We'll keep you updated as we learn more. And just a short time ago, our Silver Barker exclusively interviewed Kimani's grandmother and legal guardian, and then Kimani's aunt. Here's what they both had to say.
So my first question for you, yesterday, lots of things was going on. We want to know specifically at your home, there was a lot of speculation online that you were being arrested, but when we checked with police, that was not the case. So can you further clarify on exactly what did happen yesterday at your home?
Well, I was called and told that there was a mob of people in front of my house. They were angry. It was more or less the people that were here earlier waiting to see if it was Kimani that was in the home. And basically some people from the neighborhood had contacted me and said that there was a mob in front of my house and they were talking about what they were going to do to me once I came home. So the police, the detective said that she would have a unit come out and help me get my things and more or less escort me off the property. I asked to be handcuffed just so they can get the away from my property.
Are you scared?
So no, I was never arrested. I was taken downtown, but I was never arrested.
Are you scared for your safety right now?
I am.
What are some of the things that you've been hearing and receiving from people?
They said they was going to blow up my house. They said they was going to do harm to me. It's just been a barrage of the different things that they've been stating.
And now yesterday, or let's backtrack first for a little bit. So you are the guardian of Kimani, or you were the guardian of Kimani, correct?
I am the legal guardian of Kimani.
Okay. So in terms of taking care of her, when was Kimani placed under your care?
And how did the dad get hold of her?
She's been in my home for the past 5.5 years, but I just obtained legal custody of her a year ago.
Were you and Kimani close?
We were.
What were some of the things, trying to paint a memory of her in a good light, right now with everything that's going on, what was Kimani like? Tell me a little bit about how Kimani was the time that you got to her.
Kimani she was phenomenal. Kimani was a helper. Like she was older than what she appeared to be. Like, you know how they say somebody has an old soul? She was that. She loved older music. She loved playing video games. She loved the friends and family that she was allowed to be around. She played basketball for Spring Elementary. She was highly intelligent. So I'd like to clear up the mental issue statements. No, she was not mentally ill in any way. We had her, assessed, and they didn't feel as if anything was wrong with her mentally. So that was not an issue. But back to Kimani, she would, like, say, for instance, someone would come over and they had children. They didn't have to worry about their kids because Kimani immediately embraced them and would play with them, kid stuff. She was phenomenal. Like I said, she was like no other kid her age.
What school did Kimani go to?
She went to Spring Elementary.
And we were told that at that time she was doing good at school as well too, correct?
She was. She had brought her grade point average up from a 3.4 to a 3.9. And, actually they were going to have an award ceremony for the basketball players today at 5:30. But when I divulged to them that she had passed, they've rescheduled it. She was going to receive her trophy for being,
So she's a gifted child.
And
she's a high achiever.
That's coming up,
her birthday is Friday.
She would have been turning 14.
She would have been 14.
Did you have any plans for her birthday?
We were going to have her a large birthday party because it would have been her first birthday where, once again, all of my children were together and could participate in the party. Her mom was supposed to come and everything. So I asked her early on, what type of party do you want? She said she wanted a basketball themed party. So that's what I bought. Things that revolved around her playing basketball. I'm still receiving stuff in the mail for that.
So there's been some confusion now in terms of when it comes to family, who's her biological father, who is her biological mother, and then also was she in the foster care system? Can you clear up a little bit of all of that? When Kimani was placed in your care, when is the LCCS? Who exactly did she come from, and how did she?
She came from her other legal guardian. I choose not to state her name, but she came from her other legal guardian because the other legal guardian and I were best friends. The other legal guardian is my daughter, Kimani's mom, godmother. And we had already discussed early on, because she's been with this person since she was 9 months old. My daughter has never really had custody of Kimani. So she's been with this person since she was 9 months old until, like I said, maybe 5.5 years ago. Now, off and on, this person, we would interact and, you know, do different things with her, for her, or I would contact her and tell her, well, I need this, or Kimani would like that. And she would come by and oblige, and we would commence. It's just too much.
Earlier you mentioned when you were talking about what Kimani was like, you know, you had mentioned that when family members did come over, who were allowed around her. Can you expand on that? Is there family members that weren't allowed around her?
No, it's just not very many that came around, and those that did, you know, she acted, as far as I'm concerned, she acted accordingly. She embraced all children, bad or good. Okay, next question.
So now we do know that Darnell, you know, people are looking for Darnell Jones right now. The police are looking for Darnell Jones, and there is an arrest warrant out for him. Do you have any idea of his whereabouts?
Good.
Oh, well, to my knowledge,
Well, they got him,
he was
though.
just arrested in Columbus. He just recently had a shootout with the police in Columbus. They're saying that he confessed to her murder, and no, I take that back. They're saying that he confessed to her rape and slitting her throat.
Oh my goodness.
How's it feel to learn that?
I can't even say.
You know, as the police report mentions, Kimani was last seen with Darnell. You know, do you have any regrets of letting Kimani go with, as you're her guardian, do you have any regrets of letting Kimani go with Darnell?
I do, only because, like I said, I feel deceived. I feel like this was pre-planned. I feel like you meant to do this. I feel like you was grooming her.
Hi, Phoenix.
When you say grooming her, is there
Austin.
things that you saw before this?
Wow.
No, I never saw anything out the ordinary. But when molesters decide to choose prey, they groom you first. So they give you gifts. They try and make you comfortable with them. They try and say little things to you that you and they can keep secret, and then eventually they pounce. And that's how I feel. That how all of this is played out, I feel that's what happened. She was a virgin. She didn't like boys.
There's also comments, and we're just trying to address those and get those addressed, but there's comments online and speculation again that, you know, Kimani, her home situation, she was abused. What do you have to say to that?
Okay, abuse in whose eyes? Because she was not abused. Yes, she was chastised whenever she was wrong or did things wrong. Other than that, she was not abused. She was not just whooped for no reason or just because I felt like it.
What?
I've went through this twice because the school system had contacted CSB on her behalf when she went to Bennett Academy. And they came in, they did a case study and closed it. They've stated there's a way to chastise children without physically harming them. You need to whoop them on their behind, nowhere else. So, okay, with that in mind, I knew that. So she didn't have like bruises all over.
Wow.
How long ago was that when they came into your home?
I would say the latest.
Oh, my thing's playing up now.
It was approximately 7 months ago.
And so you say the latest. So was it a few times that they came into your
It
home?
was twice total.
The CPS. She's asking her the CPS questions.
Okay. And it was
Oh,
all
you
for
asked
chastity,
me
like you mentioned, what you just said.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, in terms of you know, this whole situation, so you were not arrested, correct? And that's
Correct.
what, you know, a lot of people see.
She's trying to clear her name because she knows the neighbors will come
right?
after her.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So my first question for you: can you tell me your relation to Dorothy?
I'm Dorothy's second oldest daughter. I'm Kimani's aunt. My name is Sanika. I live in Indianapolis.
This sounds so much similar to
All this that is going on is devastating. You wouldn't think that, you know, you see it happen around the world, but when it hits close to your heart, you really just be thinking like, did I do something wrong? Did I fail her? She didn't have the life to live that we have got to grow and live. She was only 13. So to know that somebody that I trusted, which was her father, to come through and deceive us just to get to Kimani in some sexual way or a harmful way, that hurts me to the fullest. And the point I feel like I failed her. Me as being her aunt, a person that she could run to and tell anything and everything to. That was that was my girl, that was my baby. And to hear all of this, to know all
My thing's playing up.
of this, and to be going through all this and hearing it for as long as that it went on, it's very devastating. I see so many people that are supposed to be my family that's going against my mom.
Yeah, I don't know, girl. I don't know. I just think like this year, yes, you never know when it can be closer to your home. You always have to be aware of so many things. It's just crazy. It's like you can't let the child out of your sight for 5 minutes.
Being seen in Columbus, and the man police shot is wanted in the murder of a 13-year-old girl in Toledo, a teenager who happens to be his daughter. Police are now confirming this afternoon an officer shot and wounded Darnell Jones today. Jones is now facing charges in Columbus. And 13 Action News reporter Alexis Means is live this afternoon with what we have learned since we first brought you this breaking story today at noon. Alexis.
Tony, he is facing charges in Columbus as well as here in Toledo. He's facing a murder charge here in Toledo. I want to show you the scene here where they found the body yesterday. As you can see, there are a number of balloons and candles and teddy bears in honor of this little girl who lost her life over a senseless crime or whatever happened to her, according to police. Now, police put out an alert for officers around the state to be on the lookout for Darnell Jones. Columbus police were looking for him yesterday.
You even did an
Police say
interview with
Darnell
them as
Jones
well.
may have been walking around a neighborhood in Columbus all night. The SWAT team found him. There was a confrontation. Police say Jones had a gun and pulled it. Police shot him. Jones is the father of Toledo teen Kimani Lateef. The 13-year-old was found in an abandoned home yesterday. Jones is wanted for her murder. A Columbus police officer said the girl's throat was cut. A warning, the details might be disturbing to hear.
This is what SWAT does. SWAT goes out there. Some of them have uniforms. Some are in plain clothes and plain cars. And it's my understanding that they had a location on this suspect vehicle, and they did what they do. They circulated the area. They saturated the area of the short north, and one of the SWAT officers did find them. There was a confrontation. The individual had a...
Let me see if I can pick it up on here. In case he says
And
something.
confidential. The hotline is available
Okay, in case he says something crazy. Hold on.
24/7 in more than 170
It's not
languages.
picking up the thing.
If you or someone you know has been a victim of sexual abuse, text strength to the crisis text line at 741 to 741 to be connected to a certified crisis counselor.
Stop it.
Police shoot Toledo father wanted for daughter's murder, teen's cause of death revealed. Special report, everything we know about the life and death of 13-year-old Kimani Lateef. 13 Action News anchor Josh Krupp is breaking down everything we know about the life and death of Kimani Lateef. Hear previously unaired interviews, new reaction from Toledo's police chief, a timeline of events and more in this digital exclusive report from March 26, 2025.
Is that what all they got?
A gun. You pull a gun on his officers. We've said many times, this is the outcome you could expect. The officers shot him. It's my understanding he is in a local hospital right now.
A spokesperson for the city of Toledo says Mayor Wade Kapsakavage spoke to the mayor of Columbus. The police chiefs are sharing information and working together to investigate this incident that happened in Columbus, as well as the investigation here. We're told you, as you mentioned, the Columbus police officer said that Darnell Jones is in the hospital. He is facing charges in Columbus. He is also facing a murder charge here. He is expected to face a judge tomorrow in Franklin County. Tony, back to you.
Alexis Means reporting live for us this afternoon. Meantime, police in Toledo have been looking for Jones since they discovered the body of his 13-year-old daughter, Kimani Lateef, in an abandoned home on Miami Street just this past Monday. That was days before she would have turned 14. Jones, initially charged with her abduction, police have since added the charge of murder. The autopsy today reveals the teen died from wounds and cuts in her neck. Community coming together today, remembering Kimani. In a statement to 13 Action News today, Toledo Public Schools say in part they're saddened by the loss of their friend and classmate, adding that Kimani will be remembered as being very personable and someone who got along well with others. Toledo Public Schools says Kimani was recently recognized at the school's honor roll assembly.
So she's a very clever
to begin a
girl. She's a
kindness
high
award later this
achieving
week.
child.
Counselors and therapy dogs are at the school this week to help all of those who are grieving. And happening tonight at 6:15, the community is set to hold a vigil for Kimani at the house at the corner of Miami and Wilmot, the one you just saw behind Alexis Means. Lily Lowndes will be there, and she's going to...
I don't know what just happened there. The screen's changed. That is really sad. That's very sad. That is so sad. They put her in the care of her father, and it's her father who essayed her. So it is an essay situation as well as an unaliving situation. That is very I mean, I say the word disturbing every single time I hear these stories. It's very disturbing because the aunt said, but we trusted him and stuff like that, right? And I know there's others who's going to really look into this as well, so I'll be keeping an eye out as it unfolds, because I feel like yes, the police got him. I think they did show his charges as well. I'm trying to see if I can find his charges. Oh, that's not it. Oh, it won't show me. No, it won't show me that. Okay, I have to go to another page. Oh man, that's so sad. So what the community is trying to do in Toledo? I'm trying to see if I can. It's just the thing. They're trying to get a protective thing put in place. So I think this one's talking about systems failed as well. Let me see if I can get her picture up. So she seemed like she was in care as well. That's what it sounds like to me. Sounds like she was in care as well. That's crazy. Another system fail. Let's see.
A lot of systems failed. That poor girl. Council seeks answers on Lattig abuse allegation reporting. City leaders seek answers on abuse allegation reports following Kimani Lattig case developments. Toledo City Council members discussed the case of Kimani Lattig during Tuesday's council meeting, calling for more information and accountability. Watch an extended clip showing council members' remarks in the video at the end of this story. Toledo, Ohio, WTVG, Toledo City Council members discussed the case of Kimani Lattig during Tuesday's council meeting, calling for more information and accountability. Investigators found the body of 13-year-old Kimani Lattig, who was reported missing last week, at an abandoned house in Toledo. Her father, Darnell Jones, is accused of abducting and killing her. Councilman George Saranta questioned what happens when agencies receive reports of potential abuse. One of Kimani Lattig's former teachers told 13 Action News school staff from Bennett Venture Academy reported concerning things the young girl said to Children's Services on multiple occasions, adding that Kimani was with a different guardian at that time. We're still working to confirm who Kimani's guardian was at the time. She came to school with visible injuries and told us some things that were happening in her household, the teacher said. Children's Services told 13 Action News Tuesday that none of the documents in the case are public record at this time. An agency spokesperson said Wednesday representatives plan to discuss the case with news media on Friday. I guess the question for me is, this is not the first time this has happened. A teacher reports physical abuse of a young person.
So they're not
and what
listening to the
happens?
teachers.
Nothing happens, Sarantu said. He said he wants to learn what is going on when people make these kind of reports. Teachers are very, very good sources of information. When people make these reports, we need answers. I'd like to know what happened because now we have a real tragedy. She's gone. He called it a very sad time, adding that the community deserves action when potential abuse reports are made. We can't have our young people being murdered and abused, whether it's mental or physical abuse. It has to stop, Sarantu said. We depend on these agencies to do their job. And my question is, did they do their job? It doesn't sound like that, but I have an open mind. I want the truth, and we all need to have that information ASAP. Councilwoman Carrie Hartman said the news of Keimani's death is hard to hear and the community failed her. I think a lot of systems failed that poor girl. I think we are included in that. I think the community failed her, Hartman said at the council meeting. I know several of us have already had conversations around demolitions and what else can be done, but I think we have to work really hard to keep that from happening again. She called it a shocking and tragic loss. It's hard when it feels like it could have been preventable at several steps in her life, I'm sure, Hartman said. Members of Toledo City Council discussed the Keimani Latig case on March 25, 2025, and called for accountability in reporting abuse allegations. Latest local news. First Alert Weather Crime National 13 ABC Originals. Copyright 2025 WTVG. All rights reserved.
Well, I'm going to leave it right there. Because I was seeing this around the place, but you know, sometimes you see something and you're just like, okay, I'm not going to talk about that. Like, you know what I mean? And then, but it's like these ones are happening often. Like they go missing, then you find out it's somebody who's caring for them. It's the ones who's unalive them or something, and then you're just like, it's getting a lot more. It's happening a lot more. It's happening a lot more. I mean, even over here, there's always suspicious looking characters over here, as well. You're not sure who is who, and when they're in care, mind you, there's been examples of this before in the past, many places, and it's like it's happening a lot more now. I don't know whether everybody's picked up on that, but it seems to be happening a lot more. And I don't know, like, people trust their people, trust people as well. I mean, so I'm saying it's coming to an age where it's coming to a stage where like you will be so not trusting of people. You wouldn't even want your child around nobody. And he's her father, and he's, you know, it's crazy. It's just crazy to me, man. It's because, as you see, I started out listening to Jocelyn's story, and now I've come to this one. I'm just like, wow. And it's always to do with the system. They're always in the system. They're always in the system or something. And it's like they get lost. It's the same thing what happened to Nariah Harris, where she was in the system and they knew who he was, what he was about. Well, the grandma did, and it's like, yeah, these are sad stories, you know what I mean? I know it's gonna get covered, so I'll be able to see more details of certain stuff because I can't reach certain stuff on this side of the water. You know, it's sad. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna leave it right there. You know, Jocelyn and Kamani. It's sad. It's very sad. These things shouldn't be happening. But we know that there are people that is around people, around family, friends, whoever, who are predators, predatorial. You have to keep talking to your child. You have to be letting them know that people are not what they seem. Now, the other one with the mum selling her daughter, that's just crazy. That's just, I mean, like, the child didn't deserve that. And, yeah. Like I was saying, sometimes I have to put certain things on Dark Side of Ocean near me. Because it just gets, the stories, it's just crazy. There's so many of these stories. So many of these stories, so many. Just so much to take in. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it right here. I will see you in the next one. Thank you for coming, Auntie D and Phoenix. Please have a good day. Think about those people who's lost children and different things. And I know Phoenix lost somebody as well, so I ain't gonna put it on her or nothing. But you know what I mean. But if anything, we'll talk about it in the comment section, and I'll see you in the comments. Take care. Bye.